Page 91, When the Saints Go Marching In. This piece is in a lot of method books in one arrangement or another. This is a nice arrangement because it gives both hands a good workout. Nothing new being added. We're using what we've already had, but you're playing these new notes in the treble clef up here, and it gives you a chance to learn them more, better. Let's look it over. It's one page long, treble bass clef, 4/4 time signature. I see a bunch of quarter notes and half notes and whole notes. And you'll notice the first measure only has 3 counts in it. So it is a pickup measure, because anything less than a full measure is a pickup measure. That means count 1 is somewhere else, and it's at the bottom. The last measure has 1 count. So we're coming in on beat 2. 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's important because it needs to feel like a pickup. Because otherwise, when the people are listening to you, they'll think the first note you played is beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. No, it needs to go on to here. Go up to here. The natural accent's on the whole note in this case, the first beat of the measure. So careful on that. It's the feeling of it. Now, let's take it one hand at a time, make sure we know what's going on. The right hand, we're up here where we've been, and it's, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This rhythm is all over the place. Let's go to measure 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes, no big deal, I hope. Go to measure 11. That's the last measure of the third line. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, tie 2. See that dotted half note is tied to a half note. It's 5 counts total. Hold it down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. Left hand, it's basically the same thing, but you're down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Isn't the big surprise there? Measure 5, you have an E and a G together. Whole notes. And then measure 11. 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Rhythm is a little different. 1, 2. Okay, then we put the hands together and see what happens. Go as slow as you need to go. If you have to hesitate, that's okay right now. We're just trying to figure out where the fingers are working together. Because the rhythm, 1, 2. Right there. When I play the whole note G, the right hand comes up. It has a rest. And then when I play that whole note, the left hand comes up. It has a rest. Now they're together. These are together, and these are together. And then here. So just quarter notes here. Measure 11. Careful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. The quarter notes across. Just count it out very carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And they're playing in parallel motion. We've had that before. And that last note is by itself. The right hand comes up. And once you've worked out all the hesitation, so it's a steady beat. Keep it slow is fine, but a steady beat. Then we'll think about the articulation. Slurs to connect it. So it's here, connect it, and then the left hand connect it. That's pretty much it. You're lifting up between the curved lines. Just follow the curved lines. On measure 11 again, both hands come up. It's like taking a breath here. And then the last note is staccato with an accent. Play it a little louder. And as you play it, that comes up. That's a little tricky. Then the dynamics. Mezzo forte at the beginning and moderately loud. That's the melody. Well, they both sound like melody. So what? Follow the words. Where the words are is the melody. This is kind of an echo. Keep it in the background. There could be other singers singing this, but there's no words printed there, so we're going to keep it in the background. it's all that way pretty much until the end when you go up to loud. And the right hand, and again, something about music interpretation people don't agree with. Starting at measure 12, going into measure 13, both hands are playing the same notes. You might say, okay, they're both melody. And I say, that's interpretation. In my mind, no, they're not. The right hand is the melody. Melody's been up here all along. Why change it now? This is harmony, because you can have harmony be an octave apart and still be harmony. So just because they're playing the same notes doesn't mean they're both automatically playing melody. So I'm going to suggest the right hand is loud and the left hand is just in the background. Except that last note with accent is loud there. That's how I would interpret this. Other people would disagree. That, oh, play them both out. It's a personal thing. You do whatever your teacher's telling you to do. Then the speed, well, it's got to be accurate. So what can you do accurately? You see in measure 7, they give words for the lower staff. That's because other people could be singing there. It's still in the background. It's got to sound like, we don't want it to sound like melody. We don't want all that to sound like melody. So keep it in the background, even though there's words to it and people might sing to it. It's optional. Because I'm guessing if people are there to sing those, then when you get to measure 12 and on, they're also going to continue to sing this. They're going to sing that, but it still should be, in my opinion, in the background. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 5 counts because we come in on beat 2. So I'm going to give us 4 counts for 4 beats to a measure plus 1 because we come in on beat 2. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Well, there is a duet for this at the bottom of the page. I'd like to play that. You play what you just played, but again, I need you to go up an octave. So pretend middle C instead of here is up here. So instead of here, play it up here. Play it all up here. Now the duet part doesn't have anything on your pickup measures, so I'm going to play those notes with you, but I'm going to play them down here. I won't play them here. So I'll give us 5 counts. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, go.